is liking these comic book, Omni graphic novel reviews and the overviews. I really like making them, so I hope everyone's enjoying them. It seems like people are liking them. This one's a little different. I don't want to say this isn't a superhero book, because it definitely is, because there are superheroes in it. But it's more of a... I don't know what the word I want is. Kind of like a drama, not really a coming of age, a fish out of water character study. Let's just say it is a book that I put on the must read, and it is from Dark Horse. This is Black Hammer, not to be confused with who Omar Epps, who is supposed to be Wesley Snipes in Major League 2. He made that movie where he was Black Hammer. No, nothing to do with that. This is the library edition because you can bookmark it with this gimmick. So cool. I've got the sleeve off of it, but I'll show it to you. This is a great book. There is, and I will go through these in order. This is Black Hammer Volume 1. There's Volume 2. World of Black Hammer. So there's a reading order you have to go to it. Now, I'm going to take a look at it. We're going to deep dive it. Going to kind of explain it, but I don't want to get... I want to get deep enough for you to read it, but not deep enough as to where I'm going to ruin it. Because like I said, it's not your typical superhero story. Patton Oswalt, I know Miss Spence from King of Queens. He was really high on the book. He really raved it up. It won the Eisner Award. It's gotten a 10 out of 10 or a 5 out of 5 from every major marketplace. And that wasn't done to be like, hey, we got to boost the sales. It's just that good of a book. I mean, it's got your superhero mix. And we all know, like, certain characters. Barb Alien, that's the Martian Manhunter. Abraham Slam, I've always kind of thought a version of Captain America. You know, they're all loosely based on current comic characters, more famous comic characters. But the book is done so well. The way it's drawn, the artwork works. And it does... And you'll see as I'm flipping through it, you get to go through the backstories. With those look more like an old EC comic or Golden Age book, and the current stories, which look more. It's really, really slick the way it's done. It's a really good book. Let's take a look at it, and then we'll talk a little bit about more when I'm done. Here we go, Library Edition, Black Hammer, Volume 1. It's called Library Edition because it's got this sweet little gimmick in it. You know, so you can bookmark your stuff. Doesn't matter where you go, you bookmark it. Came in very handy as I read this over the span of a few days. Really nice glossy cover. Jeff Lemire, Dean Ormston. Here's the side of it here. Black Hammer. This is a very beautiful looking book. Looks great on any kind of shelf. You know, you can see the ratings for it. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. 10, 10, 10s. It kind of got the perfect ratings everywhere. It's the first chapter of the highly acclaimed Eisner Award-winning superhero saga in deluxe, oversized, hardcover format. Let's take this off. I always take these off when I read. And this one, actually, some books just do, what's the word I want? Nothing overly fancy. They did a nice job with this one, as you can see. It's the exact same thing. Just doesn't have the slip cover on it. The slip cover makes it classy. This is, if you are like me and you like older books, you know, here's the introduction. This book is essentially an homage to a lot of classic comics. You know, you can see this isn't, let's be honest, this is an old Justice League cover. So the story of Black Hammer is there's all these group of heroes, and they have memories. Like, they can remember that they were heroes. They can remember they were fighting it's basically a knockoff of Crisis, like an Anti-Monitor. And all at once during this big battle to save the city, there's like a flash of light. Everybody on like our world thinks that they're just dead or gone, disappeared. But they've all actually gone to a farm. And it's like a farm that they can't leave. It's like a character story, but not a boring one. Like, here in the beginning, and some of the people actually like it. Like, the main character, not that anyone's more important than the other, is Abraham Slam. Abraham likes living on the farm. He finds it peaceful. This is Gail, who Gail pretends to be his daughter. Even though Gail is, like, gotta be in her 60s by now, but, like, she would transform. She could transform from, like, a little superpowered girl to, like, her normal age. As you can see, she can fly. When she gets zapped over here, she was in the small girl form. Here's Talkie Walkie, Barbara Alien, Dr. Weird, you know, all this just really crazy stuff. And, you know, they just kind of, you can see this artwork. I like the artwork. What I like about the book is, and I don't want to give away too many spoilers because there's a reading order you have to go. And I will actually be kind enough to do all these books. But like Abraham is one of the stories I really liked. He's dating this waitress and she just thinks, hey, you know, they live on a farm with his family. You know, it turns out though her ex is the town sheriff who hates Abraham. Barb Alien, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. He is homosexual. At least they've referenced that he's an alien. He likes this priest that came to town. He thought he was getting some signals. Our Gail here, she's just Gail's probably your comic relief, even though it's a very tragic tale. She's actually very funny. And they go out here. You know, Black Hammer is the hero that brought them all together. And see, here's when you go into the other things, like when they're fighting, you know, Golden Gale, America's Super Sweetheart, Abraham Slam, Barbara Alien, the Warlord of Mars, Colonel Weird, the swashbuckling space hero, and Joseph Weber, the Black Hammer, hero of the streets. I like when they would go, they will tell you like a little bit about him. Like every comic will feature a little bit more, like here's Gale. So her origin is very Shazam-esque, and it blends in with all the stuff that's happening, you know, on the regular world. A lot of them are trying to leave this farm. Abraham, like I said, he's kind of happy. Weird knows that there's something on. Now it will cut back to, you know, these are Golden Age heroes. So if you notice, the artwork kind of changes, the way the shading and everything is done. It's very good. I really can't say anything bad about it. It's one of the best comics I think I've ever read. It would make a epic, I don't know if I would do it in a movie, but it would sure make an epic, like an HBO miniseries, kind of like they did with that Watchmen that I actually thought was really slick. You know, and like here's the next Black Hammer, because like I said, this is a collection of the issues. This one is done Barb Alien, the Warlord from Mars, and it's hosted by A Ghostly New Tale from the Cabin of Horrors, you know, because they kind of mix everything, and you can see here, you kind of get their origin pieced out as it goes through the modern to the past. And I like Barb Aliens. This is very much the Martian Manhunter. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out what some of these characters are. He comes to Earth, takes the form of a cop. You know, he's actually a really good cop, and then he thinks his partner likes him in a different way. So he makes a pass at him. You know, it's a different time. They throw him out. He starts to believe he's just a monster. His only friend is Gale. Well, I shouldn't say his only friend. They're not enemies, but Gale really likes him in a way that he can't reciprocate. But as this is happening, you're also introduced to Black Hammer's daughter. You know, they find different pieces in our world. You know, this is a piece of Colonel Weird's ship. She's convinced that her dad and all these other heroes are alive. And what she wants to do is figure out where they are. Abraham Slam is kind of a combination. Oh, he doesn't really have powers. So, I mean, he's kind of like a Captain America type hero, kind of like Daredevil, a little combination. Interesting. Like I said, he is, I don't know if I would call him the star of the series, but he's definitely the character that I like the most. He's very relatable because I'm an old guy. You know, here he's having dinner. I don't want to, you know, take up too much time going through because I don't want to do a lot of spoilers. But a lot of things are happening. Colonel Weird, you can see his is done like an old-fashioned, like one of the old EC sci-fi comics. The artwork, normally I'm not the biggest fan of artwork like this, but it works. The way this is drawn and designed, it just, everything fits. You know, like you're looking at a modern comic, you're looking at an old EC style comic or Golden Age books, you know, the Cabin of Horrors. Like I said, we're really kind of flipping through here, but you do get to see as you get further in. There's Black Hammer. You get to Black Hammer's origin. You know, what happened. He gets everybody. He tells his daughter, you know, he says, I won't die. She said, with all your heart, with all your heart. He says, good girl. She said, I love you. He loves you too. And there they are. They're in the big battle. He decides to use it's the anti-god. He takes his big hammer. Kaboom, blam, pow. All gone. Now, what happened to the Black Hammer when they all ended up on this farm is he just figured, to hell with this. I'm a superhero. I'm going to fly away. Well, there's something keeping them there. And as you can see, it didn't let him leave. It killed him. There's his heart. He's dead. He ain't coming back. And so when his daughter does get there, here's more of Gale's story. It's all broken up. Gale had a supervillain lover and everything. And very good, Slam, he gets to deal with being older. Some of the new heroes with power. I'm sorry, I'm a little skipping. Goes back to Barb Alien's story. It's very good. I don't want to go overly detailed, even though I want to. You can see in our world, they're telling her, Hammer's daughter, hey, I'm pretty sure he's alive. His old partner, she can't tell anybody that she's Black Hammer's daughter, in fear of supervillains coming after her. So she just has to tell everybody at school he's a cook, which pisses her off to no end. Then it all kind of triggers. She's given an address by someone that knew the Black Hammer, and it's his, the Hall of Hammer, the Hammer Cave, whatever you want to call it. And that's when she decides that she's going to get there. There's a lot going on as far as how, but she comes there as the new Black Hammer. She remembers everything, and then she's going to try to get him out of there. Now, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but, this is volume 1. There's another volume. Then there's World Up. Here's all the drawings of the characters, all done in that Golden Age style that I like. And it gives you their personal data, their history, their powers and weapons, the farmer tractor. Just a lot of weird stuff. Here's the Dean Ormson's, his sketchbook. Some of these old sketches are neat. An Abraham Slam. Here's more color ones, black and white ones. I really like the Abraham Slam style. I don't know. He's, like I said, he was just a character I really liked. The old black and white pieces that didn't make it. And then the first issue, The Return to Greatness for the Heroes of Black Hammer. Want to make something of it. That's a variant cover that was done for the first issue. It was the San Diego Comic-Con cover. Sherlock Frankenstein, Dr. Starr, the whole world of Black Hammer. And there is a world of Black Hammer. This is Black Hammer Volume 1. Let's talk about it a little bit more. Amazing. Just an amazing book. I can't stress enough what a must-read it is. I don't want, like I said, I don't want to say it's not a superhero book because we're dealing with all superhero characters. However, it's more like I keep stressing, it's more of a character study of all these people and they're displaced from their time, their loved ones, they're different. It's a culture clash, how they get along, how they meet. Well, they've met before, I shouldn't say that, but now they all have to live together. It's just such a good read. And this town, and as you can see, the town from going through the book, which I didn't point out, looks kind of like a small town, Mayberry town, because they're on a farm. There's more to that than meets the eye too, and it does get touched on in this book. Now, of course, Volume 2 is going to be more to come, and we're going to do Volume 2. We're going to do World of Black Hammer. We're going to do a lot of them. Wait like about a couple weeks in between, because hopefully you see this and you purchase it, because it's a great book. You can get it at your local comic shop, Amazon. It's a $50 retail. Might be able to pick it up on Amazon. You might be able to get a little less. Just check around. It came out a couple years ago. This is the library edition. There's many collected versions of it. Get the library edition. Like I said, it looks slick. It's got the gimmick to market. It's such a good book. I will put this up. My favorite comic of all time is actually Batman: The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller. My second favorite would actually be Watchmen. Third, I've got to go Daredevil Born Again, because that was just such an awesome story. Then I'm going to throw in, I'm passing all these classics. I've got to put Black Hammer up there. I'll put Black Hammer above Killing Joke. Killing Joke's a hell of a story. Anyone that knows me knows how much I prop that. But this is just an amazing story. It's a good read. It's beautiful art. It's a good story. As you can see, you get a lot of nice extras. I can't recommend it enough. I would advise that you go out and pick it up. This is Black Hammer Library Edition, Volume 1. You got to start with Black Hammer Volume 1, not the World of Black Hammer. There's different Black Hammers. Black Hammer Library Edition, Volume 1. Pick it up as soon as you can. You'll thank me for it.